What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the Game Room Podcast. I'm your host, Rome, alongside my co-hosts, Dev. How you doing tonight, Dev?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Okay. We're rejoined by Forrest. He is back. He is back with us after his virtual absence last week. Forrest, how are you doing?
Better.
There you go. Better. And we have producer Jeff joining us on the ones and twos tonight. How you doing tonight, producer Jeff?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Well, we have a really fun show lined up tonight. We're going to be talking about the Sony State of Play that happened this past week, the Pokemon Presents that happened today, and also Forrest's favorite topic, Activision Blizzard.
Oh my God.
So much of it.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So we talked about this, Dev and I actually, like today and before today, about trying to maybe make the news a little bit more, try to be a little bit more picky and choosy. So like, hey, like this person said this. But the problem is that this past week, Microsoft decided to fly to Brussels, Brad Smith, have a press conference, talk all this stuff on stage. So we have to cover it. It was super big. And I'm going to try to run through as fast as I can for us because I know you really hate it. But every time you go in the Discord and say Terror Raid or Kirby, I just say, I'll get them next week when we talk about Activision Blizzard. So,
No.
it's time. All right.
No.
Let's dive right into it. Number one on the news lineup. Microsoft and Nintendo officially announced that they have reached a legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms for the next 10 years. This is a follow-up that obviously the news broke before the deal was officially signed that we talked about a few weeks ago, but it was officially signed. It is a legal thing. If the deal goes through, Call of Duty on Nintendo systems for the next 10 years, which I think that this is more about the next version of the Switch, not necessarily the Switch, or I don't want to say next version of the Switch, could just be Nintendo's next console. But yeah, as soon as this deal goes through, the 10-year deal will kick in. Right. So I did say that I was trying to be a little picky and choosy, but I did leave this one in. The president of the Communication Workers of America, it's another labor union, they asked the European Commission to just get this deal through, help make history. The president, Christopher Shelton, sent an email to the European Commission's vice president and said, bro, just fucking do it. Forrest, this is the thing. I'm waiting for you to send the European Commission an email. Like, that's why I do this.
You know what? You want to know what? This is what I'm going to send them if I send them an email.
Oh, yeah? What was it going to say? Oh, just a video?
No, did it work?
That's too damn bad!
Okay, yeah. You know what? This is what I'm going to send them.
What's going on over there? Oh, man. Anyways, I'm trying to move this along. Let's keep this moving along. I guess Forrest has his own little virtual soundboard over there.
I do.
FBI, open up!
Man, these guys have... Producer Jeff is probably like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Stealing Producer Jeff's job. Anyways, let's keep moving on this. PlayStation, their Call of Duty deal actually ends next year. During an interview with CNBC on Tuesday from Brussels, which I mentioned there was a press conference there, Microsoft President Brad Smith said that the deal Sony currently has with Activision Blizzard will expire next year, which really adds pressure on them to get this deal done. I mean, if they really feel the way they feel about keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation, even at this point in the immediate, you would think that they would be a little bit more willing to get this deal done. Let's see. Now, despite that, before this press conference that took place this past week, news came out that Sony remains opposed to Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, according to a report from Games Industry Biz. The report states that even in the EU meeting last week, Sony voiced concerns over the deal, and that Sony and Microsoft are, quote, not close to a deal on Call of Duty.
Not surprised.
Do you think that there's a possibility that, let me rephrase this. Do you think PlayStation would be wise to make the deal now? Like, God forbid, like it closes, and maybe they're like, you know what? You guys were just completely a hassle this entire process. When your deal expires, we own Activision. We're not going to renew. Do you think that like there could be like a level of petty there
I
where
mean,
they're
that's the whole reason they're fighting it is because of that's a possibility. You know.
but then why wouldn't they just play along and just sign the deal? That's my point.
Because they can't just give up. Because
Yeah.
then they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. So
See,
that's really what it comes down to.
See, I agree with that, but I would still like take care of your customers, and
They
I
don't
mean,
care about the customers. No business cares about the customers. You are dollar signs to them. That is the end of the story.
that's fair. I won't argue that. I won't. Well, I mean, what happened?
I say we care about our listeners. Those are our.
No, he's saying like corporations.
We
though.
care.
I know.
We're not a company, though.
Yeah, we absolutely care. We're
But
not.
when we do become a company one day, you guys will all be dollar signs to us.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
You've heard
the
it.
moment we become a company, you guys are dollars.
Exactly.
Oh, you gotta prepare me, man. I could have had the little the gif of that guy and everything. That'd have been great.
Yeah, start working with producer Jeff on this. Anyways, so like I said, it seems like the landscape of who supports and who doesn't support the deal is pretty much kind of set. It seems like everybody's kind of on board, except for Sony and Google. It came out this past week that Tencent actually supports the deal, which was really surprising. And also at this press conference, we learned that Nvidia was also on board. It was announced that all Xbox PC games will be coming to its competition, NVIDIA's cloud service, GeForce Now. NVIDIA officially quoted saying that they support this deal. So again, I think Xbox is really kind of spreading out here, and their competition, like they're putting their games on their competition. You see it on NVIDIA and Nintendo. I think that these were definitely smart moves to make for them if they were looking to close this deal out. Just to do a quick summary of the press conference that was held in Germany last week. As I said, Xbox games are now coming to GeForce Now, with NVIDIA supporting the deal. Brad Smith says that Xbox games are coming to Switch, but he kind of changed that to say it's more about Call of Duty. But we have seen some Xbox games come to Switch, like Ori, Will of the Wisps, and Blind Forest, and whatnot. They also point out market share in the EU. It goes about 80% to PlayStation, 20% to Xbox. Worldwide, he said they claim it's 70-30. Japan, 96-4. Xbox also goes on to state that they have no intention to split up the studios in Activision, and there's currently no deal with Sony. Now, there was something really funny, guys, that happened during this press conference. So Brad Smith, he's talking about PlayStation, and he basically goes on to say, Sony can spend all of its energy trying to block this deal, or it can sit down with us and hammer out an agreement that addresses what it says it's concerned about, mainly the access to Call of Duty in the future. And so he pulls out the contract. He's like, this in my hands is the contract for Sony to get 10 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, day and date, with Xbox, end of story. He's like, I carry this around with me so we can just get the deal done. And they won't do it. And I thought that was kind of funny. He's like walking around with this contract in his pocket. Let's see. So following that, an Activision executive was tweeting about Microsoft doing exactly what they said they do, whereas Sony continues to rebuff the opportunity to get a long-term agreement for Call of Duty and is trying to undermine the deal to protect its 2-decade dominance in gaming. This is from Lulu Chang Messervey, who's from Activision Blizzard. Jeff, could you put up the meme that she tweeted out, please?
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed. I just love that it's at the point where executives are just tweeting memes. Like, I don't know. I got a kick out of this. And that is pretty much it for the press conference from Brussels. I thought it was a really good outing for them in terms of really trying to hammer home this deal and get it done. What do you guys think? Do you think that enough was done in this press conference to kind of help them? I mean, between the deals with Nvidia and Nintendo getting legally ironclad and figured out, amongst their other arguments, do you think that they made a good argument this past week?
I think I saw a picture of what they had before. Like, I guess the press conference got leaked, or like the practice of it. and it definitely helped them to have Nintendo and Nvidia because beforehand they didn't really have much. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Like, cool, great, awesome, good. It's about time. Just like at this point, like I'm so over all this shit. Oops, forgot that one. Let me try again. I'm so over all this.
Oh,
All right, let's not get carried away.
Producer Jeff's getting pissed.
No, I actually really liked that one. That was good.
It was
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Well, so for us, that's all we have for the Activision acquisition. I did want to share a quick little story about Activision, though. Moving on to headline number 2. Activision had a data breach on December 4th, and employees' personal information was leaked. But don't worry, the employees found out eventually, and by eventually, I mean last week. So, Activision did not feel the need to tell their employees. They basically said that I think
oh,
what?
That's oh my god, dude. So hold up. So wait, it's funny you say this. I got a bunch of my password was compromised this weekend. And one of them was my Activision account, and Google wouldn't tell me where it came from. But now that you're saying this, I think it was my Activision account.
Oh, there you go.
Holy shit, bro! Full. Whoa, my mind is blown.
Well, that's why we do
like.
So far, eventually, producer Jeff's gonna fucking start muting for us. That's a certain point.
I can't. I'd have to mute you all. Actually, I could. Yeah, you know.
Anyways, an Activision spokesperson told TechCrunch, who this article is from, there are no requirements for a company to notify when there is no evidence of sensitive data access. So Activision's basically saying that there was no sensitive data. However, I mean, some would argue that there was sensitive data. Things like phone numbers and email addresses were disclosed in the breach. So passwords, like, I don't know. Do you consider these things to be?
Oh yeah, definitely sensitive.
Sensitive. Absolutely. So I just have this guy's email address, his phone number, and his password to his Gmail now.
Nothing sensitive.
Nothing too sensitive, no. But this is just further proof that, maybe Activision Blizzard should not be operating on its own, its own accord.
They need a babysitter, dude.
Right, that's what Xbox is going to do. They're going to babysit Activision. That's the whole point.
I hope so. I do hope it gets better.
I really think it will. I think the one thing Xbox does really well, we could talk about the things it might not do super well in the gaming sphere, and they're trying to get better at, but they seem very player and developer focused, in my opinion. I mean, you see these little games come out on Xbox Studios all the time. Like, these developers have these passion projects, and they're just like, hell yeah, man, make your game. Like Bleeding Edge, that came out from Obsidian. It wasn't very good, but somebody at Obsidian really had this passion project they wanted to make. Pentiment from Obsidian as well. Hi-Fi Rush.
I'm just worried about it being too big. Like, I did hear some stuff about the initiative. I hope it's all resolved, but
Yeah, you never know. The Doge is here. Hello, Doge. All right, moving on. Enough with the Activision stuff for now. Bethesda announced a new Doom game. It is called Mighty Doom, and it is a mobile. Now, it is a mobile game. An extremely adorable, colorful top-down exploration of the Doom universe, built exclusively for mobile and boasting roguelike gameplay. This game first surfaced in rumors in 2020, and then, being officially announced this year. It's Doom, but it's cute.
I have a button specific for my reaction. If I'm gonna ask this time, if you would allow me to press it,
allow it
for my reaction to this news.
Wait, is producer Jeff okay with him pressing another button?
Sure.
Okay. There you
go. When you said, but it's a mobile game.
For me, it was more like womp womp womp. That's what I was expecting. Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah. So the new Doom was announced. You get to slaughter all these demons, but you also get to rescue your pet bunny named Daisy. So that's the
God.
goal. That's the goal of the game.
It's Doom, but it's cute. Fuck
Well,
off.
I hope that's not too loud on the stream.
No, I don't think it is. It's not that loud.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty much the news. Comes out March 21st, mobile devices. It's a new Doom game.
Ooh.
I mean, the last two were excellent, so I'll let it slide this time.
I will boo anything that's a mobile game. It doesn't matter what it is.
I mean, I'm the same way. You can ask Dev. I don't play mobile games.
Except Pokemon Go. I will not boo Pokemon Go.
I'll play mobile games if they are also like on other consoles. So like I play Legends of Runeterra and Yu-Gi-Oh! That's technically a mobile game, but I can also play it on my Switch. I can also play it on my phone. I can play it on my PC.
Right. I get that. All right, moving on. Number 4 in the headlines. Marvel's Avengers creative director apologizes for the game. In the latest issue of Edge magazine, Cesar Virtuoso, who is now working on Lords of the Fallen reboot at developer Hexworks, issued a brief apology for Marvel's Avengers. When quizzed about the game, Virtuoso, who worked for a support studio, Virtuous, as a creative director on the game, made a rather vague and intriguing statement to Edge. It was a challenging production, let's say. Virtuoso doesn't go on to explain what the challenges were with Marvel's Avengers, but he did talk about previous projects such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider and what he's working on now, Lords of the Fallen. But for Marvel's Avengers, he does say, I apologize for that. So Marvel's Avengers, you know, I interpret this as he was like, yeah, there are some challenges. I felt like they were like, okay, let's make an Avengers game. And Square Enix was like, it's a live service game. That's what he's talking about. He's like, yeah, there were some challenges. He just can't say it.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I don't want his sorry. Like Kratos says,
I accept his apology. It happens.
don't be sorry, be better. That's what Kratos says.
Right. So don't make live service games.
Or just make better
Why did I picture a Valentine's Day card that says that?
It's great.
You give that to someone for Valentine's Day? Don't be sorry, be better.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Number 5 on the news headlines. We are going to be getting our final trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie. It will be on March 9th at 5 p.m. Eastern. During a Nintendo Direct specifically designed or aimed at the movie, Nintendo said, just to make sure, there will be no game information included in this Direct. I'm very excited for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Where are you guys at for this?
Dude, do you see the photo that they used to announce this? It's everybody in go-karts, like,
yeah, it's a really
oh
cool
my
picture.
god, on the rainbow. Oh my god, on Rainbow Road.
So I was feeling really good about this movie before the Game Awards, but that clip that they played at the Game Awards of this movie and the trailer, like I was like, this is going to be amazing. Like I have no doubt about this movie just being a home run.
That's an awesome poster.
It is an awesome poster. It's got Rainbow Road. You can see all the characters on it. That's dope. I can't wait for this movie.
I mean, I'm probably gonna try and see it in Japanese.
You guys see Toad? He's got like a monster truck.
Yeah.
Is that a weed plant on the front?
Probably.
No, that's the headdress on Donkey Kong's tricycle.
Oh, okay.
Those are banana leaves, man. Come on.
My bad.
This is a children's show. No, I'm just kidding.
On the headline number 6, this is one that I wanted to include that Devin and I actually talked about after the podcast last week. PlayStation registered a physical game revenue surge, and it reached a 4-year high this past holiday 2022. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the article. I mean, Sony said that they sold more physical copies of games than they have in the last 4 years during this past holiday season. I think that is a great trend. Dev.
It's just a bubble.
Why is it just a bubble? Can you just believe that people bought video games?
Yeah, of course. I wish they showed numbers for how much they sold digitally because I feel like that'd be on a 4-year high as well. You know, I think people are just buying more video games in the past 4 years.
Well, also because the last one of those 2 years we were locked inside our houses.
Yeah,
That's true. People were like, I want to go to GameStop.
I don't know if that's what it was. I highly doubt it.
What do you mean you highly doubt? What do you
I
highly
think
doubt?
people will just buy more video games. You know.
No, people bought more video games during the pandemic.
I mean, they especially bought more digitally during the pandemic, for sure. But I think this past December, people were just buying more video games, and some of them happened to be.
Someone tripped into a GameStop like, oh no, I went to go buy a
game. Yeah.
It's like, whoa, God of War Ragnarok physical. I wanted digital, but I guess I'll take it.
It's not gonna last. I'm sorry.
You're such a hater.
Is digital digital is doing better or physical is doing better?
Physical
did better this past holiday season.
Well, yeah, no, because it's also like something we need to realize, and this is actually something that Rome does with the collection. Digital is no good because all it does is increase the value of the console itself as opposed to each individual game's value. Does that make sense?
So that might be true, but it's a convenient thing, you know. People
it is, but at the same time, so for me, I look at it as it's totally a convenience thing. If it's a throwaway crap game that I don't really care about, I'm maybe gonna play once or twice, I'll get it on digital. However, if it's like a AAA, it's a Pokemon, it's a Fallout, it's whatever, I'm getting a physical every single time.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. Do you have a button that can encapsulate just like fuck yeah, I really agree with you? Like, do you have any buttons for that? Like, or like hell yeah, or like amen. You got anything?
You popping balloons?
I got a slow clap. Oh wait, I got this. There you go.
There you go. I'll
you
take
sound like a clown because these are coming from two collectors. You realize that
he's not a video game collector.
He's a collector.
You know what, Dev?
Collector.
Take your opinion and flush it.
I'm just saying, you guys are on the other side of this, where the more average person who's going to buy a game are just going to do it digitally. You know, like.
Yeah, and then the game will get delisted in a few years, and they won't be able to play it.
That's okay.
You won't be able to resell it, or you won't be
next 2K.
They don't buy that. I understand.
You guys are resellers. Like nobody. You're gonna buy physical until you can't. That's true. But you're on the outlier side. You're not in the majority. You're in the very small minority of this. Like
I don't know, because I feel like for the casual gamer, it's digital. And then you eat it later. Like, because we're long-term gamers, we also can recognize the value of it. Like a digital one has no value. It doesn't.
I don't think the majority of people who were buying games actually care. Like they're buying.
I mean, it's 2023. Nickel and dime every activity you got. Like, bro, we need money. Like, you need to be surviving. I'm tired of surviving. Let's start thriving. Like
from 4 millennials. You count Jeff.
Jeff is a millennial. He's a Gen. What came before millennials? Jeff's like 70 years old.
Yeah, I had an original Nintendo like when it came out.
Exactly. Jeff's not a millennial. Jeff is older than us. Keep in mind, we are millennials. Yes.
So
I played Duck Hunt way before y'all were even born.
That's what I'm saying. Jeff was talking about like football in the 1980s in the Discord today, and I'm like, Jeff, I wasn't even alive until '93.
So we were talking about an injury to Carson Wentz, and I was saying in the 80s that was career-ending. He was miraculously able to just come back from it, and the way that he played, he'll never play that way again. So he's pretty much done.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, physical games good, digital games not completely bad, but I think physical games are the way to go. I mean, I understand the convenience of digital, but outside of convenience, I see no point to digital. I mean,
I agree. I also say, and then this is you're gonna love me tonight, Rome, because I would say if you're gonna go digital, get the Game Pass.
Let's go.
Well, the reason I see something like digital being a little bit, someone can have as many games as you have in your room on a hard drive, and they don't have to worry about like having a room just for games, a game room. Like I just don't see the average person having a game room. They can have, look at Steam.
No, but they have a shelf, a TV, a media shelf where
but they're not going to stuff it. Like not the average person isn't going to stuff it with 50 games.
The average person is
on the small side.
But the average person's not buying 50 digital games.
Yeah, I'm also
anyone that's going to.
I'm in the Rome is an example and an exception. He's the
What about-
extreme end point.
Yeah. So what about Steam libraries? People have literally hundreds of games in their Steam library.
Yeah, but they don't play them, and the only reason that people
Humble bundles.
the only reason that people have hundreds of games on the Steam library is because those summer deals come around. And you could buy like Fallout 4 for $1.50. Like, yes, people
Facts.
buy yeah, people are gonna buy those deals when they come through. But at the end of the day, like, if you're talking about like, yes, I have not played every game that I own, but I've played most of them.
Not most of them. A lot of them, but not most of them. If we did it percentage-wise, it'd be under 50%.
I would love to do that actually.
Right. We'll do
Not right now.
No,
but,
not right now. Of course not.
but now, out of pettiness, I absolutely want to do this. I have played most of the games on. I feel very confident about that.
All right. So,
What's up to Sage Nasty in the chat?
Oh
What's going
no.
on? Oh no. You know
He
Sage
says,
Nasty?
"Oh no."
Oh man.
God damn it, Sage. How did he find us?
Somebody found a forest.
Forrest has been hiding for years. Forrest isn't even his real name. I can't disclose what his real name is, but
Hi, Sage. Sage, hello.
anyways, while Sage gets back to you. Next up, Resident Evil 4 Remake's VR mode will be free DLC. Capcom has confirmed as much. For the PS5's PSVR 2, it will be free DLC for that. Revealed on the Japanese Resident Evil Twitter account, Capcom first announced that development has now begun on the VR mode, before following up with confirmation that it would be free DLC. Dev, do I want PSVR 2?
I think you do, but
Okay.
that's just me. I think it's worth it. I think also Gran Turismo, that was also it's a free update. And there's one other one I can't think of that's off the top of my head, but in my opinion, yeah, I think you do. You can
I
still
feel like
wait.
VR is really going to shine with horror games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so, yeah. I mean, but also it's really just about that immersive experience, and we're going to talk about it a little bit when we talk about the state of play. But I really do want PSVR 2, but I'm also still a little concerned because I don't see anything on the platform yet. Like maybe Horizon Call of the Mountain, but even that kind of seems like it falls a little short in the experience. But like I want to be immersed. I want to be really immersed in a VR game, and I just don't know if PSVR 2 has that yet. But I don't know.
I disagree. I think it's one of the. I mean, it is at the moment right now the best headset that's out there. Like, I count it as a $1,000 headset because you do need to buy a PS5 with it. But yeah, it's really good.
Okay. Well, we'll see, and we are going to talk a little bit more about PSVR 2 when we get to our state of play discussion recap, which will be one of our two topics tonight. We have a double header for topics. But let's keep on moving right along. Number 8 on the game headlines. Founder of Tango Gameworks, Shinji Makami, is leaving the studio. In a company-wide email sent to ZeniMax employees, seen by TrueAchievements.com, and since then verified by Bethesda themselves, Senior Vice President of Development at Bethesda, Todd Vaughn, announced that legendary game designer Shinji Mikami is leaving Tango Gameworks. Quote, I am writing today to let you know that studio head Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Gameworks in the coming months, Vaughn said. Mikami-san has been a creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers at Tango for 12 years, through his work on Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and of course, Hi-Fi Rush. Tango Gameworks will continue to work supporting Ghostwire Tokyo and Hi-Fi Rush, while Bethesda higher-ups work with Tango leadership on what comes next for the studio. With a career spanning 33 years, Mikami has one of the most impressive CVs in the industry, and is credited with creating the original Resident Evil, and working on numerous games within the franchise up until 4. Over the years, he also worked on other notable games such as Dino Crisis, Beautiful Joe, God Hand, and Vanquish.
They said the word. They said the game.
Which Beautiful Joe?
Yeah.
Yes. Tension to Go-Go, baby.
Tension to go, baby.
Mikami founded Tango Gameworks in early 2010, which was then acquired later that year by ZeniMax. He went on to launch the survival horror game Evil Within in 2014 and a sequel 3 years later in 2017. More recently, Mikami worked as an executive producer on Ghostwire Tokyo and the Game Pass hit Hi-Fi Rush. In the email, Vaughn called Hi-Fi Rush one of the most successful launches for Bethesda and Xbox in recent years, adding that the rhythm-based action game has generated significant positive momentum for the business and Tango. Another update to follow up with this original reporting is that Shinji Mikami is leaving in the coming months. During the last few years, he has prepared the studio for time without him. So this has been a move that he's probably been thinking about for a few years now. Kind of sad to see the guy go. Obviously, created Resident Evil with a rap. Like, that's just the start of his.
Yeah, what a resume.
That's a hell of a resume.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's leaving Tango Gameworks in a good spot. I mean, they just put out Hi-Fi Rush, which is a very different game for them. And part of me feels like maybe that was kind of where this might have started. Maybe he was like, the studio wanted to do this, and it wasn't exactly something he was known for, but he wanted to support it. And he was like, you know what, maybe this is my time to get the studio ready to go on without me. And that's why they.
It almost doesn't even feel like that. It almost just feels like he's ready to go. You said 33 years.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, like, when he was working on this game, maybe he was like, hey, I'm just going to step back. You guys make this game, and I'll help out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I mean, executive produced on it. So that sounds like the kind of role he probably took for it. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's just it might just be time for him to chill. He's taking he don't want to get into a Smash Bros situation.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I was gonna argue it, but I was like, all right.
I mean, also, he loved making Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sakurai loves
Yeah.
making Smash Brothers. I don't think he wanted to stop. Part of me thinks he didn't want to stop.
It's probably better for himself.
Oh, absolutely. Moving on. Next up, number 9. Mortal Kombat 12 was announced, and it was announced in a very anticlimactic way. It was announced during the Warner Brothers Discovery's fourth quarter 2022 earnings call. David Zaslav of WBD, the president and CEO, announced that the game in a segment of the call discussing the company's games business. He stated that Mortal Kombat 12, along with Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, are both set to arrive later this year with ambitious launch projections. I just find it really funny that like the president was just like, "Oh hey, Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year."
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's some more numbers. Yeah, this is great. This is a great year for fighting games. You got
Yeah, it is.
Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, right? No, what Tekken is it?
9?
9?
No. 8.
Okay. So you have Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Mortal Kombat 12 all coming out this year.
Yeah. That's insane.
No Soul Calibur.
You know we didn't get to get Soul Calibur for another 5 years.
Dude, I get Soul Calibur once a gen. Like, dude, I'm the only person still playing this game, I swear.
I think that's true. I mean, sometimes I'll go back to 2 because you can play as Link. But that's about it. All right. Time for our 10th and final news headline of the week. Call of Duty 2023 information has been revealed. A bunch of details. They've changed their mind. It was originally supposed to be an expansion led by Sledgehammer. It's still going to be led by Sledgehammer Games, but it is going to be a game all on its own. In a new report from Bloomberg, Activision has modified its Call of Duty release schedule plans, shifting away from the planned expansion for Modern Warfare. Reports now state that it will move towards another full game set in the Modern Warfare era to be developed by Sledgehammer. Previous reports, as I said, they were supposed to be kind of more of an expansion type deal, but at some point they have changed their mind and they're just going to make a whole nother game. Though no official details are out as of this time, the Bloomberg report stated that the game would focus on the continuation of Modern Warfare 2 and its systems, but it will not be Modern Warfare 3. Sledgehammer Games, the developers behind Call of Duty Vanguard, are heading up the development, with support coming from other Activision studios, including Infinity Ward and Treyarch. According to previous reports, the original plan for COD was to maintain its growth, support for Modern Warfare 2, said. Producer Jeff, I'm going to bring you in here. Are you glad that they're going to move away from Modern Warfare 2 and at least make another game, or would you rather see them kind of stick it out with Modern Warfare 2 for another year?
That's a really good question.
It really is a question like, how happy are you with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 right now?
Not very much at all. The only thing I can give them is this new ranked mode is really, really cool to watch from a viewer perspective. I've been watching Dr. Disrespect and Courage and those guys play, and it's actually really fun to watch. To be honest, I don't care. All I ask is, just fix the game. If you're gonna do another one, make sure that it wasn't like this.
I can agree with that. I had actually heard a really interesting rumor or saw a rumor online that they weren't going to add a lot of maps to the expansion, and I was like, oh, like you guys are really kind of running bare here with your maps as it is. You were going to support this game for 2 years and not add a lot of maps. That would have been not a great idea. Hopefully, with a new game, there will be new maps. All right, and that will do us for the game headlines of the week. Let's dive into what's coming out this week with the game releases for the week of February 27th. Coming out tomorrow on February 28th, we have the Destiny 2 Lightfall expansion coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, and Stadia. I think that's a little outdated.
A lot of the VTuber community is hyped for that.
Dev, I mean, when's the last time you got into Destiny?
It has been a while. Looking at this trailer and like, I heard there's gonna be a lot of quality of life stuff. It just looks like a hefty update for Destiny. Looks cool.
I can agree with that. Also coming out tomorrow, Dungeons of Aether on PC. Scars Above also comes out tomorrow on PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
That looks like a cool game as well.
It does. What is that game?
It looks. I didn't play Returnal. I don't know if you played Returnal.
I know of it. I have it.
It looks very much like a Returnal, but minus the shooter, the heavy shooter. You know how it's I forget what the name of it. It's a bullet hell. It's not a bullet hell.
Bullet Sponge.
Bullet Sponge. Yeah.
See, I don't like Bullet Sponges that much.
It's not. No.
Right.
Oh, it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Okay.
It's cool. It has creepy monsters. It looks like it's on the creepy side.
I think I'm looking at the B-roll Jeff's got going right now. I think this is it. Oh, okay.
That's Lightfall from Destiny.
Oh, is that Destiny? Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Anyway, that looks pretty good for Destiny, actually.
Destiny looks really good. It's like I'm talking about this game, but Destiny looks really good.
It's gotten real good. I might be going back soon.
Hell, I've been watching hell of streams of people going back.
Yeah, I think this is like the start of their next story. Like I think they just ended their last one last year, and this is like the start of their next story. So it's a big deal.
So for me with Destiny, I stopped playing Destiny 2 because all of the things that I loved, like in Destiny 1, all of the raids and stuff, I wasn't able to go do anymore because they actually shut down Destiny 1. So I kind of felt like, all right, yep, I'm done. And I was like, if they ever bring those old raids back, and just let you do them in Destiny 2, I'm in. And apparently a few months ago they did that, and I had no idea. So
yeah,
I might be heading back in.
Back.
The Taken King is my favorite thing to do in a video game ever. Like, the Taken King is a raid from Destiny 1. It was an expansion. It is my favorite raid, dungeon, whatever you want to call it, in any game that I've ever played.
The cool thing about the Destiny raids is the multiplayer part is like, you're playing a different game almost. Like, the mechanics are all different. You have to play with people, and they have to play, like, you have to play as a team. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's like this one with like, I was watching, it just took like 4 hours of 3 hours of coordination.
Oh, yeah.
And it was insane. It was like, it was like this podium, and like the triangle would appear, and then a circle would appear, then a square would appear, and like they were calling it out to each other, and then they were like triangle, and then it's like, all right, come to me, XYZ, come to me.
Oh, it's so hard.
And I was just like, damn, dude. Coordinate.
It's just like World of Warcraft,
I heard
man.
was involved. They had an Excel spreadsheet open to figure out what these symbols meant.
Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft, dude. I've been in a raid for 4 hours and failed. It's wild.
All right. Also coming out this week, we have on March 1st, Leap coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC.
I don't know what that game is, but it's a very pretty game. Like, it's a shooter. That's about it. It's like a space shooter, and it just looks very pretty. All the gameplay I've seen. I don't know if it's good or not, but.
And then coming out March 3rd, Wolong Fallen Dynasty coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Also launching on Game Pass on the 3rd.
It's another pretty game.
That is a pretty game. I've seen some Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I'm intrigued.
Have fun with your Dark Souls.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I said intrigued. I didn't say I was gonna play it. All right. Well, so that's the releases for this week. If I had to pick a game that I would get this week, I mean, honestly, Destiny 2 Lightfall looks really good. I don't know if it's too late for me to play Destiny.
The cool part about that, guys, is that the actual game Destiny is free. You can download it for free, and all you're doing is buying an expansion. So,
yeah, sure.
I'm thinking. I'm looking. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know how many expansions you got to buy. I think they make them all free until the new one, and then you have to buy the new one. But I'm not positive.
All right. Would it be a safe assumption that your guys' pick, all of your picks for this week, would also be Destiny 2 Lightfall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the big thing because that's just the only thing I hear rumbling. Like I hear Sun Wukong, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch one person play that, and I'm never gonna hear about that game again. I don't expect anything great or crazy out of it.
I mean, I hope you're wrong because Wulong, it just looks really cool. I know it's a hyped game too, so
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around Wolong. But all right, let's get into our topics of the show, gentlemen. The first topic is the state of play recap that happened on the 23rd last week. So we're gonna run down it. I feel like there was okay for starters. Obviously, Dev, you watched it. Forrest, did you watch the entire state of play?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Producer Jeff, did you happen to watch it?
I did not.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's kind of just dive right in and just kind of run through what was announced. So they started the show off with 5 PSVR 2 games that are coming this year. They showed the Foglands, which is kind of like a shooter. I like the art style. Part of me was wondering if it was like one of those randomly generated type games, like a roguelite, just because of just how it was set up. I don't know. Maybe I was reading too much into that, but then they showed the Green Hell VR, which is a survival game, a wilderness survival game. This actually originally wasn't a VR game. I actually knew someone that said they really enjoyed the non VR Green Hell. Also announced was Synapse, which is a shooter, looked very arcadey. And then finally, or I'm sorry, Journey to Foundation was shown next. I swore this was a Star Wars game in the first 5 seconds. And then it wasn't. It's like, it's based off a book series, which admittedly I did not read the series. And then finally, Before Your Eyes.
Looks like I think his name is like
7
books or something like that. Had hefty books.
Never read them.
And things like The Matrix are like spin-offs of his books, so like a lot of inspiration.
Okay. And then finally, Before Your Eyes, which seemed like out of all of them, I thought this was the most interesting looking one. It seems like you kind of go back and replay your life. It seems like you died, and on your way to, I guess, the afterlife, seems like you're kind of reliving your life. And I don't know if it's going to work this way, but in the trailer, he's like, every time you blink your eyes, time goes forward. And I know the PSVR 2 has eye register. Like I wonder if that's a mechanic. Like every time you blink, it'll skip.
I've already played through this. This is an old game that's just coming to PCVR.
Okay.
It's an older game. And the game is based off of when you blink. It's not just time skipping. There's a lot of small mechanics. Like you'll be watching the scene, you don't want it to end because it's like very touching, and then you blink and it's over. Mm-hmm. And I think when you do it on PC, it's through the webcam. It's a really good tracking, but having it on PCVR is even more like immersive.
Right. Yeah. So I would say that's the game.
It's a game that you would like for sure.
Yeah. See, if I get PSVR 2, I would want to play it. It looked really interesting. No, yeah, right. So, I mean, out of all of those, that would be the one that I was most interested in. I was also interested in the Foglands to an extent. I thought Journey to Foundation did look good. I don't know. I'm still looking for this. I don't know what I'm looking for when it comes to PSVR 2 or VR in general. But I'm just looking for that killer app where it's like, I want to get lost in that. I don't know what it is yet. I can't even explain what I'm looking for. But
Skyrim.
Maybe that might be it. Maybe I am looking for like a huge open world to VR around it.
Honestly,
I don't know.
I think you're gonna love it. I'm serious. I think the first game you'll probably go through and you'll feel it is Resident Evil. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot that you're gonna hate.
Well, that's why the wife asked me what I wanted for my 30th birthday. I was like, I guess I want a PSVR 2. That's expensive. I don't know if that's.
You should have said your youth back.
Oh man, I would let Jeff have it first. Anyways, moving on. We got
uncalled for, sir.
What do you want me to do? Not say that you're 70 years old, please.
The insult wasn't directed at me. That's not fair.
Jeff, you had a free ride on the Broken Tables podcast on Friday night, so you're gonna get a few today. Anyways, afterwards they showed off Destiny 2 Lightfall. Again, it still looks good. I just haven't played Destiny 2, so I'm like, okay, that's great. After that, they showed Tachia, I assume that's how it's pronounced. It is a PlayStation Plus day and date release, and I was like, they need to have more PlayStation Plus day and date releases. This is the second one since Stray last year, if I recall correctly. If you want to make your service good, you need to have more announcements like this. I think the game looks fine, but it's still the matter of, hey, this is a big indie game that's getting a release and it's coming on our service day and date. They need to do more of those. Afterwards, they showed a game that I swear to God, like this looked like a dev game to me. It was called Humanity.
Yeah.
It was a puzzle crowd leading game where you play as a dog. You wake up and you're just like, I'm a Doge.
Yeah. The music was really.
I was right on that. Like that's
I would play that for sure.
yeah. See, I was like, that seems like a Devroro ass game. Right
Yeah.
there. Like, seemed really weird. Very
It
interesting.
seemed very weird. I
Very
like the music
weird.
a lot.
Yeah. I liked how it kind of also had like a little bit of battle simulator in it, where it's like you had the dark people with the red lightsabers attacking your
cool.
people with blue lightsabers.
This also has like a VR type thing where you put it on and the game is made to play in VR as well. Not a VR game, just you can play it in VR, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Next up was Goodbye Volcano High. It seems like it's a QTE narrative type game, which I would probably enjoy. But it was there. Next up was Naruto, and that's it for that. Next up was Baldur's Gate 3.
That looks great.
Baldur's Gate 3 looks good.
Yeah.
Apparently there's some issues with the Xbox version because they're trying to do split screen multiplayer, and there's like an issue that they're coming up with like on the Xbox version.
For the Baldur's Gate?
Yeah. It's weird because people were wondering after like all the promotional material after the State of Play came out, and it was saying like PlayStation but not Xbox. We were like, oh, is this exclusive? But it's more so that the Xbox version's coming, but they need to get the features corrected, so they didn't want to announce it or show it off yet.
Something that we don't know, but I guess if you're a Baldur's Gate fan, the main villain that they had, there was a returning voice actor for that villain. So people were hype about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to play Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play it too. I've been somewhat interested in it. Never played one though.
It's neat because like you have dice rolls in the game.
It feels like Diablo, but like
it's Diablo with dice. That's the best way to put it.
Looks
it's like
amazing.
if you roll a critical fail, you are screwed.
Next up was Wayfinder. Oh,
yeah, it looks like a Fortnite, Fortnite Monster Hunter.
I didn't even write anything down for Wayfinder.
Okay.
So I don't even know.
It looks okay. It's very generic.
It must have done nothing to me because I have nothing to say about Wayfinder.
Oh yeah, Wayfinder is people that made what's it called? Warframe.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, it just looks like Dauntless again.
Yeah, it does look like Dauntless.
Next up, Capcom showed up and they showed off Street Fighter 6 with some character reveal trailers.
Hell yeah!
And what was the new character's name?
She looks like a me character. Like when I saw Lily fighting, I was like, if I play this game, she's gonna be the one I go to.
So I want to give Street Fighter 6 like the credit here because we talked about it the last time we saw it, and I thought it didn't look very good. It looks much better now.
Okay. I think she might be her style the entire time. I think it's beautiful.
I don't know. The last time that this game was shown off, like the art style did nothing for me. I thought it looked hideous, especially I think it was at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
And like also they showed
you didn't like or something.
I don't know, it just didn't look good. And then they showed Tekken off the same night. I was like, this looks incredible. Like you can't even compare the two.
It looks good now.
Yeah, the Zangief and the Cammy reveal.
Yeah, those are.
So good.
They looked great. They looked really good. So I do want to give the game that.
Zangief had a lucha mask on and he's dressed like a wrestler. This is awesome.
Yeah. Zangief's always been a wrestler.
Pile driving fools down to the. Boom.
Next up was Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm not gonna lie, out of choice, I did not watch this part of the State of Play. I already am 100% sold on Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Okay.
Like it's out of choice. Like I don't need to see any more of that.
I'll just say, since you didn't watch it, it looks beautiful.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to play Resident Evil 4.
It looks really really pretty. Yeah. It looks like it got the Final Fantasy treatment in a way.
Well, like you haven't played Resident Evil 2 or 3 Remake.
No.
So I really want you to play those games. I think that's on our list. 2 and 3 Remake are just excellent. I love those games so much. They stand on their own so well. Which is why I'm really excited for 4 Remake. Like, I think this game is just gonna really nail it. I think it's gonna hit it out of the park. So yeah, I did not see anything about this. That was just kind of out of choice. I was like, the game comes out in like a month, or maybe a little bit more than a month. I don't need to see any more of this game. Forrest, did you have any thoughts on Resident Evil 4 Remake?
Well, I don't play Resident Evil. I'm too scared, so no. I don't do horror games like at all.
Resident Evil has gotten a lot of love in this last year because I think the VR port.
No, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
If I'm being honest, like no, it looks great. Like I know 4 was such a big deal, but I'm not a scary guy. I don't do the scary.
Yeah,
no spooks.
No spooks.
No spook.
I'm
All
with you,
right.
Forrest.
What was it? Producer
No, you're
Jeff?
good. I said I'm with you, Forrest. I don't do the scaries either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last and unfortunately, probably least. They showed off Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and they went on a 15-minute presentation for this game.
Game's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely heard do not expect much from this game other than some really cool cutscenes, because yeah.
I think what bothers me about this game, and I was actually really surprised because I thought Dev was gonna like this game, but we went to see Ant-Man the other day, and we just had to talk about it.
Yeah.
So like that, like usually we don't talk about stuff so we can talk about it on the podcast, but we did talk a little bit. And I was very surprised that you and I agree on this, that not a good showing for Suicide Squad.
It wasn't horrible. My problem is that you got these characters that the game isn't character based; it's a shooter.
Yeah.
So you got King Shark and he's using a gun, and you got Captain Boomerang with boomerangs and he's using a gun. It's just
You have Harley Quinn with her hammer and she's using a gun.
yeah.
You have Deadshot.
She looks horrible, by the
He's using a
way.
gun.
Ugh.
Just wish it was more character based. And so that was my first issue. My second issue was all the gameplay they showed. They were flying in the air, like everyone was in the air fighting.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know. The game looks pretty. The story looks like it's going to be really good. I like all the characters in it. Wonder Woman showed up, which was amazing. I like all the Flash stuff I've seen. I'm tired of games trying to be Destiny. You know, it's
Yeah,
I know
everybody's
you're
got like
chasing the live
jetpacks or
service
something.
problem.
Dude, that's what it is. They're chasing the live service trend. They're taking these games, and look, we discussed it. I'm okay with live service games existing, but a lot of these games don't need to be what they're trying to make. And here's the thing: when I envision a live service game, because we've disagreed on what a live service game is, when I show you this gameplay of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and I'm looking at it right now, this is exactly what I imagine when someone says a live service shooter. Like this is
Yep.
that. Like it's
You hit the nail on the head. This is Destiny in third person. They are literally, that's what this looks like.
But what you just said, a live service shooter, that's the thing I didn't like. Like, I'm okay with live service games. They don't all have to be live service shooters. They don't all have to be.
Well, even live service games. I mean, it's just
It's the game. Like Gotham Knights is not a live service game, and it plays like it plays like Destiny, and it hurts for it. It's not a live service game. It's just bad gameplay. Stop trying to make these shooters with all these numbers on guns, and do something else.
So I think
Stop making Borderlands. Stop making less good Borderlands.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. I think what really hurts me about it is that like after 8 years, like that's longer than like Zelda games are made. That's longer than like most successful games are made for. This is what the makers of the Arkham trilogy was working on. And I don't want to like shit on somebody's hard work, but it's like I feel bad doing it. But it's like you guys made one of the greatest trilogy of games. Like you could not like Arkham Knight, that's fine. Like some people don't. But like even if you take 2/3 of the trilogy, one of the best trilogies in gaming, at least in that generation, at the very least. You guys spent 8 years in the lab, and you come out, and this is what you're making.
I mean, isn't that just the curse of Batman, though?
Harley Quinn has a drone that she throws a hook to fly up. What?
Yeah, like she's in the air the entire. So like,
What?
here's the thing: the game doesn't look bad. Like gameplay wise, it looks fun. It's just not what I wanted out of. It's not what I wanted out of the next.
Yeah, it's another live service.
The gameplay itself, the actual game, looks fun. In my opinion, I do think it looks fun.
It doesn't look.
Like,
It doesn't appeal to
I
me.
have issues with this thing like all the way through, and I'll just kind of wait for you guys to finish up before
Oh, go
I
ahead.
start.
No,
Nice,
no,
Joe
no,
Rogan.
Okay, so first of all, from a story standpoint, I already think it's not going to be a good story. Because this trailer is a perfect example of I think they're just going to keep getting saved by Deus Ex Machina type bullshit. So, like realistically, Flash could kill them all, and he could just run through them right now, and they'd all be dead, and the game's over. Like Superman could literally just split their heads off; it'd be over. The only one they reasonably got a chance against, maybe Batman. But like, it's just it just looks, and Wonder Woman showing up when Flash was doing the cycle, like the wind tunnel thing in the story. I was just like, oh great, this is how this is gonna be. Cool. It's just Deus Ex Machina bullshit is gonna keep saving them.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So-
I completely agree with you. I'm definitely concerned about the story of it, which we also talked about. Like, I thought the Wonder Woman showing up thing, I thought that was actually a really cool cutscene. But I've seen these kinds of games. I know how they work, and I just think it's going to be a strung together story where it's like, okay, here's a 2-minute cutscene to set up for this giant 20-minute mission in this giant open world, and then do that 20-minute mission, and then have another cutscene that's 2 to 5 minutes long. Like I've seen these games, and I'm very concerned about it in that aspect as well. At the end of the day, I think Dev, you kind of really hit the nail on the head, where it's just like this is not what you're expecting from the Arkham series, because in the Arkhamverse, they even said that this takes place 5 years after Arkham Knight.
I actually didn't know that.
They said that in the video in the
Yeah, they
presentation.
said
And what is it? It's an arcadey looter shooter with gear score, which again, like some people like that stuff. I don't.
I like it. I just didn't want it in this.
It's got a battle pass. Like it, you know what when I was watching this, you know what game really just kept sticking out in my head? Anthem. I just kept seeing Anthem when I saw this game. Anthem with Avengers peppered in. Like that's all I could think of. You know, it requires an online connection even during single player, which WBD did confirm that is factual. This just it doesn't do service to the IP. Kind of like what you said. You could take the Suicide Squad out of this game. You could take the Justice League out of this game, and it would still be the exact same game. And I think like
yeah.
the cool thing about the Arkham games was like you played to the strengths of the IP. It's like you were Batman. You were the detective mode. You had the hanging off gargoyles, like all this cool shit that Batman does. And
no joke. The guy talking about Brainiac right now has a gigantic head like Brainiac. That is hilarious.
Gee. You know when Jeff's dunking on you, you know you fucked up.
That's funny because I saw the guy and I was like,
Did you see it? That was funny.
yeah, Mega Mind.
Even had a big old bulging vein on the side.
But so like, and then during the presentation, they say this as well, and I know we can just disagree on this, is what it is, but they said when the story's end isn't the end of your adventure, and I was like, God damn it! I was just like, you're gonna make this game. It's just like Avengers. Like, hey, here's the story we have to tell.
Can't wait for DC's Avengers.
Hey, it's like, hey, here's this like 7-hour story, and then after you get done the 7-hour story, it's like, well, I guess Brainiac's still around, so all that storytelling we did means nothing. Why don't you go do the same mission again another 100 times to grind up your gear score and get ready for the next season of Battle Pass? And it's like, I have no fucking interest in that. This was like, for me, this was like a legendary showing in a sense that like about a month ago, I would say before we found out that it was live service, which we talked about like 3 weeks ago. So like, yeah, a month ago, I was like so in on this. I was like, I can't wait. This next Rocksteady game, it's gonna be dope. That like I am doing my thing right now to save some money where I'm only buying one new game a month. But like May was gonna be a double dip month because Zelda comes out, so I wasn't gonna count. I was totally gonna buy Suicide Squad. I don't think I'm buying it at this point. I just don't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to justify it. Like the reviews are gonna have to come out and be like, this is the best game ever, which it's not going to be. This game is going to review mildly, I would assume. Like it just doesn't look like a good game.
I honestly still see it coming out and getting good reviews.
I don't see it.
I can see it.
I don't see
You
it.
know what looks funny about it to me? You ever gone to an arcade where you get and you sit inside one of those big like wooden boxes and you
Yeah.
just hold the gun and the game kind of takes you where you're supposed to go and you just shoot everything? This is what this looks like right now. Like watching this gameplay, I'm like, okay, I feel like I could be sitting in an arcade just holding one of those guns and just shooting while the game just
Oh,
does
like the
everything
Halo
else.
one at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
I think there's a little bit more movement than that, but I also agree. Like I don't foresee this being great when it could have been. It could have been like, especially with the way they do boomerang. Like I like that he has the Speed Force boomerangs; those are neat. Like all this stuff, and it was just, it sucks. It sucks that this is what they're going to do with the IP.
I'm gonna wait to see because like I said, I still have hope. Like introducing some of the new characters. I think it was the new character. I think her name was Glitch or something like that. I think it was cool. You got Penguin
Gizmo.
Man, he's an arms dealer.
Which does look cool. Yes.
There's a lot of like really cool things about it. I just hope that I hope it holds up. You know.
For me, it also kind of screams Gotham Knight, where like looking at the trailers leading up to that game, it's like, oh man, this is so cool. You got Dick Grayson, you got all the Robins working together, and Batgirl's there. Like, I really wanted to play Gotham Knights, and now I'm kind of waiting for it to go on sale.
I agree with that.
Like,
it does like Gotham Knights too.
Yeah, it's Gotham Knights all over again. It's like a really cool premise, but you know what? Like, what makes it cool is the DC characters.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not going to stay true to those characters throughout the game, then you're doing a disservice, and people are going to see that it's not going to work out.
I mean, again, Gotham Knights also had a bad story on top of it, and like this game could do better.
I think. Well, here's the thing. I think a great game can get by with a mediocre story. Like that happens all the time.
True, that's true.
If the game is fun and the loop is there, and like, you know what I mean. Like, for example, a great game with a great loop, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Story is good too. It's a great game. I just want to bring it up because Forrest hates it. The point is that I'm trying to make is that Pokemon Legends Arceus.
For that game.
Pokemon Legends Arceus is a great game. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, probably not going to be a very good game. I have a lot of
I feel
doubt.
like Suicide Squad is going to be the Legends Arceus of the Pokemon franchise.
What? What does that even mean?
I don't think it'll be that bad.
First of all, hold up. Stop it. Don't do that. Not on Pokemon Day. Not on Pokemon Day.
That's why it got no DLC, no support, and they moved right on to Scarlet.
That doesn't mean anything.
It was a glorified tech demo.
That also happened to double as a fantastic adventure through the Isui region.
I mean, people say that about the Wii Zapper game. That what is it? Link's Crossbow Training. Best Zelda game in the franchise. Let's go.
What's wrong with Link's Crossbow Training? You got a problem?
No, it's very clearly the best Zelda in the entire franchise.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's
the best one.
Fun.
It's the best one.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
No, it is the best one. It was peak gameplay. They were ramping up. That was the top of all Zeldas, and from there on, it's just been shit all the way down. Only Zelda I've ever played.
You know,
is that your 10 out of 10 Zelda game?
Words hurt. You know, words hurt is all I'm going to say there. But anyways, so that was the PlayStation State of Play.
Wait, I can help you feel better real quick. Okay.
I don't feel much better. Devroro, give the State of Play a grade, please. What would you grade this presentation overall?
That's 6.5.
So a B.
Yeah.
B plus.
It's not actually a B.
No, 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. Forrest, what are you giving it?
You know, I'll give it a 7 because I did like a lot of the VR stuff they showed.
Okay.
I did like that stuff, so I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Like
Is that your vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raspberry.
Don't give it a number. Give it a number.
Raspberry out of 10. I don't know, like something really fucking low. It sucks, dude. Like it was so like okay. It's like that. It's State of Play where they play instruments the whole time, and then there's this. So that was right above that. So I don't know. I'd probably give it a like Dude, PlayStation is just so in the dirt right now. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for Elden Ring and like,
Wasn't an exclusive. I don't know why.
I know it wasn't, but that was the only reason I even got. No, so here's the thing. I could have gotten Elden Ring on anything. I chose to get it on a PlayStation because I had nothing to play on my PlayStation that I spent all this money for.
Fair.
Sony sucks. 3. I don't know. Fuck 'em.
Sony's 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna go with Dev's original of 6.5. You know, it wasn't anything great, but I didn't think it was terrible. So
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I don't really have an issue with a lot of what was shown, but I think a lot of it, number one, we kind of knew about already. Admittedly, I didn't want to look at Resident Evil, so maybe that's kind of not fair to the show. But I don't know. None of the VR games like super grabbed me, except for the last one, which was interesting. A lot of the other non-VR stuff didn't really like speak to me at all. And then just having that Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, more like Suicide Squad, killed my expectations.
Kill
And
the
like,
hype.
it killed the vibe. Like, it really kills the vibe of the presentation, where it's like, man, I was expecting maybe some light service mechanics after what we learned about. We learned about it a few weeks ago, but just for it to come out and just look terrible. Like, it doesn't look good in my opinion. I don't think it looks like a very good game at all. Maybe a little fun, but yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. And that, like, I feel like I'm being generous when I say a 6 out of 10. The more I sit on it, the more I want to go down more. But we can go with 6.
Join me in the dark side. Come deeper.
All right, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. He talked me into it. 4 out of 10. Needs to be better.
Yay!
But all right, let's move on to our second and final topic of the show. Pokemon. Today's Pokemon Day. The franchise is officially 27 years old. Before we
Happy
get into
Pokemon Day, yeah.
Before we get into Pokemon Presents and talk about the showcase, I figured we would kind of like real quickly kind of talk about Pokemon itself and what it means to each of us and stuff like that. I love Pokemon. I love the franchise a lot. It's kind of weird to say, but maybe it's just because like it's like around our age group, if that makes sense. Where it's like as a kid, like that felt like that was like our thing. Like I loved other things. Like I loved Mario growing up, but like Jeff's generation had Mario. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just factual.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I had Pokemon like airing weekly. The original episodes airing weekly. I was like running home from the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? So.
Cool. Yeah, I think that Pokemon, like Game Freak and Nintendo, they were just so smart because they hooked myself and a lot of other people in our generation. Like, I lived Pokemon when I was a kid. Like, kind of like what Jeff said. Like, I would get home from school and watch Pokemon, and then like I would go to the side of our house, and we would all hang out and play Pokemon. We'd have binders with cards. We would have the brain fart, the cable links all linked up, trading, completing our Pokedexes, and doing all the glitches and just knowing everything about these games before the internet was a thing.
He was under the truck.
Mew was under the truck, and we learned how to get Mew legitimately through I guess not legitimately, but without cheating.
Legitimately through Game Shark?
No, like legitimately through a glitch, because you can actually use a teleport glitch to get Mew north of Cerulean City, if you know that. I don't know if you know that. You can actually catch a Mew without a Game Shark. Yeah, it's possible. You basically have to there's a trainer battle in like a patch of grass after that Nugget Bridge. If you go down a screen and initiate the battle, and as soon as you get down there, you teleport, it'll like mess up the numbers in the algorithm, so you can go back there, and the first wild Pokemon should be a Mew if you do it right.
Nice hat, Jeff.
Is he wearing a Pokemon hat? Oh, he is. He's wearing his Team Rocket
got 2 hats.
hat.
I had a Gengar hat on the whole time before, but I just threw the rocket on top. Purpleness in chat says she remembers when she was in 4th grade, started collecting the cards and watching the show. Never played the games, but brother had every single one. Yes.
Nice. So Dev, what give some thoughts about Pokemon. What does Pokemon mean to you, or like share a Pokemon story? Give me something.
I got my first game on a Game Boy Color in 2000, Christmas. I was 7 years old.
Same.
Pokemon Crystal was my first one. And it's been
So you skipped Gen 1.
I skipped Gen 1.
Wow.
I played Gen 1 way later on.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I started out with Game Boy Color. I still have my green Game Boy Color, and I still have that crystal game. I think the batteries, last I checked, the battery's still okay.
Wow, that's surprising.
My level 70 something Typhlosion is still doing good.
That's really cool. Forrest, what about you?
Pokemon is good, isn't it? You put you throw the ball, and they go in the ball, and then it's yours. That is yep. Pokemon good.
All right.
Showing
No,
off.
that's Forrest right there.
No, Pokemon is awesome, dude. I still love the franchise to the day. I think it's super dope, and like I don't know, I have fun. Like I like nuzlocking. Like that's just like I like nuzlocking. I've enjoyed every game except for like one. And just kind of like I don't know. I don't really know how to articulate it. It's just like I grew up with this franchise. I'm still with this franchise. I don't plan on abandoning it anytime soon. Like there's the game is adaptable enough that I could even make my own fun out, you know? And like also like the fan community behind it of like the ROMs and stuff are super cool. And like Soul Links, Nuzlocke, what is it, the roguelike one that just came out? That was cool. A lot of the fan made games, the Poke Fusions, like just all the stuff around it is so cool. Like
Yeah, there's so much to Pokemon.
yeah, it's just Pokemon is it's like it's ours, as you were saying, like it's ours. Like it's gonna be it's like the little brother, you know? It's like well, at least for the 92, 93s. It's
Yeah.
it's so it's like it's 3 years younger than us, or me at least. So it's just crazy. It's cool, man. Like I'm glad Pokemon's still around. It's still kicking. It's getting better.
Yeah, Ash like just became.
I know.
Yeah, like
Crazy.
and they're ending it with him. That's so sad. But like,
I gotta watch. I gotta get caught up on this show. I gotta fucking watch
Oh.
20 years of the Pokemon anime because I stopped watching after like Hoenn. Yeah, I gotta get caught
I'll
up.
come in.
Jesus. Dude, there's a lot. I would go on the filler list.
We have to do it together.
I'm gonna enjoy and watch whatever episode.
So I just showed off all my Pokemon tattoos if anybody was watching there.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Yeah, I had originally watched, like I said, when I was a kid, I was watching the show, but I'm an original 151 guy, so all the it's not done. Once I finish, there'll be a whole bunch more shoved in there.
Do you only have Pokemon tattoos?
Oh, no, I got tons of other stuff, but that left arm will only have Pokemon tattoos.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just Pokemon's an excellent franchise, and kind of like what Forrest was saying, it's just there's so many ways to enjoy Pokemon, and I think that's what's really kind of magical about it. And Purple in the chat said it too. It was like just going on adventures and pretending to be Pokemon trainers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I can't think how many times as a kid I walked around like with like a Pokeball, just like pretending to be
Pokemon Go even was literally living that fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one game I heavily got into. Like, we used to drive all over the place looking for certain Pokemon. Like, people would alert, like, hey, I found an Onix over here in this park in Philly.
Yeah.
We drove like an
Yeah.
hour to a park in Philly to go catch Onyxes. Like, no joke.
Yeah, it sucks because my time with Pokemon Go, the end of it, I remember very negatively. But I really can't knock that first month. Like that first month of Pokemon Go was like one of the greatest things ever. I'll never forget, like, because I played with like everybody. Like I know we played, and then I had my friend Sean and I played, and the one time we were just walking, and like it would just be the weirdest thing because like you would just run into people that you didn't even know. Like, we were just walking down the street. There's nobody else on the street. 2 other people came up to us and they're like, "Bro, there's a Scyther back there." And I'm like, "What?"
Exactly. Yep.
For me, it was that whole like, at least up till December, like that whole summer, all fall, half of winter. The Pokemon Go was like, I do remember leaving work one time. I was at Little Caesars, and I would see these people at a church just standing outside the church, and I'm like, Pokemon Go. They're like, Pokemon Go. And it's like
Pokemon Go.
everyone was playing it. I remember being mad at work because I could only get Pidgeys and Rattatas. Wow.
Dude, it's like we ain't here. We only here for the Pokemon. We ain't here for what? Where are we? Like they're looking around.
How big was Pokemon Go? Do you guys remember that? Because at the time, obviously,
Dude, it was insane. Like
I don't want to get political, but I just want to bring it up. But like Hillary and Trump was the presidential election, and Hillary was going around saying like, "Pokemon Go to the poll."
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
wild.
how big it was.
Yeah.
Like Hillary Clinton was on her stage talking to adults who don't know what Pokemon is, and she's like, "Got to get the young vote.
Yeah.
Pokemon go to the polls." But yeah, Pokemon's awesome, and gonna continue to love it. Forrest, there's actually a franchise, or not franchise, a series I wanted to recommend to you. This YouTuber, I gotta send you the link. So he's doing a series lock, and it's basically a Nuzlocke of the entire series. And the catch is that he can only use every Pokemon. He can only use it once in the entire series playthrough. So like if you catch
Damn.
a Mankey on Pokemon Red, he can never use a Mankey ever again, and it's still a Nuzlocke. So it's like if you lose that Mankey in that game, it's gone in that game, but it's also gone forever. Even if it lives, it's still gone.
Damn, that would suck too, considering like Mankey didn't get love until Scarlet. He gets up to Scarlet and he can't get a freaking Annihilate.
Well, so
That'd be hilarious.
So what's interesting is he's actually not only is he doing like each generation, he's doing each game in each generation. So I watched his first video where he did Gen 1 and he did red, blue, and yellow, all Nuzlocke.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
It's exhausting. It sounds exhausting.
that's a
He
lot.
actually- well, I like the way he edited it. He did it in a way where he just included all the required stuff. He didn't show any grinding. He didn't show anything like that. He's just like, hey, like there's 22 battles in Pokemon Gen 1 that are like required boss battles. It's the rivals, the gyms, the Elite Four. If you're playing Yellow, the Jesse and James fight. And he's like, I'm basically just gonna walk you through my adventure. But like it wasn't bad. He ran through all 3 games in like 45 minutes and very enjoyable. I have only watched the Gen 1 video, so I'm excited to get into the Gen 2. But I wanted to bring that up
Yeah,
for you.
send me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna send
I'd
it to you.
watch that.
Forrest, I would love to do a Soul Link with you.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Make
I'm
it
currently doing one. But I'm down for I'm down for if we could get Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. If you'd be down for that one.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Something about that Soul Link. Kind of Soul Link.
Forrest, I want a Soul Link with you. Anyway,
That sucks.
all right, let's get into the Pokemon Presents itself. So let's just run through and talk about stuff. First up, they talked about the Pokemon World Championship, which will be in Japan for the first time ever. Kind of surprising, first time in Japan.
That's weird.
This August. Yeah, August 11th through the 13th. They're going to be in Japan for the Pokemon World Championships. Next up, the Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, which I'm just gonna spend money on this. Like, it seems to me like it's just a reprint of like the original run of Pokemon TCG, and if that's what it is, I will spend money on that.
Yeah.
I absolutely will.
Yeah,
I wonder.
It did look really
I want it.
good.
I need
it's a
them.
That's such a collector's item. That's like a nostalgia collector's item.
I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna.
money.
Here's the thing. I'm going to get this run of cards, and I'm going to like have them like framed. They will go under the amiibos right here, Dev.
Nice. Do that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That's the goal.
Good luck.
I'm gonna try. Next up, they showed off Pokemon Concierge, which is going to be a Netflix series, not live action, sorry, stop motion
Stop motion. Yeah.
series. Didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I was like, what?
To me, it looked like it looked pretty. I liked how Psyduck looked kind of fuzzy as he was walking up. Like, it looks really cool to me. I'm gonna watch it.
I don't think I am. I mean, like, I might, but like,
Yeah, it's not a go-to for you.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's really gonna interest me that much.
It looks like Netflix is actively like bringing down good franchises. Like, Jesus.
If it looks bad, I would say it looks bad. At least it doesn't look bad.
It looks irrelevant.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It looks very like. eh.
No, it doesn't do that much. It just like I would expect if I was Netflix and I'm making like a Pokemon show, I would do something like a cool idea, something exciting, something adventurous, something that makes you feel like, hell yeah, the world of Pokemon, the universe of Pokemon. It's like, no, you're gonna play as a concierge at a hotel with a bunch of Pokemon walking around the beach.
Right? It's like, dude, do what if? Just make your own what
Yeah.
if for Pokemon. Like that shit would be.
I have no interest in Pokemon Concierge at all. Next up, they showed up some game updates. Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Cafe Remix, and Pokemon Masters EX all are getting updates. If you care about these games,
I don't.
congrats.
Yeah.
As much as I love Pokemon, none of these mobile games really have ever stuck with me. Even Pokemon Go, obviously, after a few months, I moved on. I just want to play the actual Pokemon games.
Yeah, an Elite is basically just League of Legends with Pokemon. Or Unite, whatever.
Yeah, basically. Next up, they showed off Pokemon Sleep, which it kind of sucks because like I did not like this presentation. As much as we
I
talked
wanna
about how much we love Pokemon. Like when they showed off Pokemon Sleep, I was like, God damn it, this is still a thing. Like remember the
Bro.
Wii Vitality sensor? I was like, I thought this was gone like the Wii Vitality sensor.
I wanna see if like I hook it up to me and then the Pokemon just dies. Like
No, you'll get a
because of
Pokemon that sleeps
how
like you.
messed up my sleep issues are.
You'll just be matched with a Pokemon that sleeps like you. So which Pokemon most like fits your sleeping style?
It's gonna be
Like-
like one that's just awake,
Yeah, one that just doesn't sleep.
There's a
just
Pokemon.
staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Isn't the one that like if it blinks you die?
I was thinking of that one
Which
too.
one is that?
Oh,
Was it-
Esper. Esper.
Esper would definitely be your Pokemon.
If he sleeps, you die.
So like this will probably be a free app and I'll probably download it, but like I was like this sucks. Like look,
Man,
man,
make sure you're sleeping, man.
like they're like your Pokemon wants to make sure your Pokemon will be more happy when you sleep well or are well rested. And I'm thinking to myself like, look, I'm already disappointed with myself with how
I don't need a
not well rested.
Pokemon to be
The last thing
disappointed.
I need is a fucking Pokemon being like, you know, you really should have gotten an extra hour and a half last night. Like, thanks, Cyndaquil. Oh, fuck, I gotta get up. Like, no, like, I don't know, just it zero interest in it. Like, it's like, hey, track your sleep. Like, this is something my wife is gonna love. My wife is gonna love this. She's gonna download it. She's gonna play it. It's gonna be great.
Maybe she's a what is it, sunbather?
Yeah. She'll get the Bulbasaur. She'll get the Bulbasaur. The sunbathing. And it's like, oh, like you'll find Pokemon that sleep like you, and one of them was like droopy-eared sleeper, or like they'll sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's gross. It's so
So I don't know. Like they showed this off, and this was kind of meant to be like their big announcement. I feel like, and it just was like, I don't care.
I'm
About
either
that.
gonna get something stupid or I'm gonna get like Arceus.
Yeah, I mean,
I go to
probably.
sleep and then just Arceus is there. My child, you need more sleep.
You'll be like, no.
Be like, you did this to me. We'd be fighting all the time.
All right, and so after that, they went on to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet updates. Their new Paradox Pokemon available today. A Suicune.
Wait, what? They're available today?
Yeah, they're available today.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shit.
Yeah. They also said that Pokemon Go will be getting Paldea Pokemon. Gimmighoul will be available. And they recommend you catch 999 Gimmighoul in Pokemon Go, so that way you can evolve it. Because that's how you evolve Gimmighoul. I know because I completed the Pokedex in Scarlet and Violet. You know, great times.
Hopefully they're just coins you find everywhere. Hopefully you don't actually have to catch
No, you have to catch. You absolutely have to catch. The Pokemon.
Yeah, you have to catch 999.
You have to catch 999 Gimmighouls. Make sure you stock up on Pokeballs. Spend that money to get this Pokemon.
Man, that's such a good way to get money out of people. It's genius.
Oh, and they also showed off the Pokeball, the Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
Oh yeah, the plus.
The plus, the plus plus.
The PLUS plus.
The PLUS plus sign.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, then they went on to, I guess, what was their actual big announcement for the show. DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. A two-parter. The first one being called the Teal Mask, and which is releasing in the fall, and then the other one was called the Indigo Disc, which is releasing this winter. The Teal Mask one is basically like a class trip in the story, and the Indigo Disc will be a student exchange program that you go to Blueberry Academy, I think it was called.
Looks cool.
I didn't see enough to care.
Okay.
Um,
They showed off the Pokemon that you can capture, and I think
they did.
I
but-
super do not like the Paradox Suicune.
I don't like it either. I really don't, Forrest.
I hate that thing.
I know. I was like, why? Look what they did to the beautiful Suicune. That is such an elegant Pokemon. It's like it's a dinosaur now. I'm like, okay.
It would have been funny. It would have been funny if they like made the joke of like if they were gonna do that to like Zapdos Trez.
Yeah.
And like it just sucks because that thing looks so disgusting for like how pretty Suicune is, you know?
Yeah.
Like
So yeah, that was the the announcement, and that was the Pokemon Presents. I'm not gonna lie, even though this was about what I was expecting, I thought this was a terrible showcase for them.
mhm.
Very bad. Like I thought the Sony State of Play was bad. Like this is really bad. There was a bunch of stuff again. It wasn't really far off from what I expected.
That's what I was gonna say. It's what I expected. They do this every year. You kind of get a little bit of good stuff, a little bit of like
I think
stuff
for
you don't
me-
care about. I don't think it was bad.
So I think for me, the thing that I really didn't like about it was there were things like I was expecting more. Like I thought we were either going to get the GBA and Game Boy Color games for the NSO,
You were
or
expecting like
I thought we were either going to get that, or we were going. I knew we were going to get Scarlet and Violet DLC. I was expecting that to be like, hey, summer and fall, or maybe just one DLC in like the summer, and then hey, at the end of this year, a Let's Go or a Legends, something else. I was expecting something else, and they're not doing that. They're just doing the DLC for Scarlet and Violet spread out into 2 DLC packs this year. So I mean, and even then, I didn't see enough to care about the DLC. So I mean, the only thing in this entire showcase that I cared about was the TCG Classic, and that's the first time we've ever done one of these Pokemon Presents, Pokemon Directs, whatever you want to call them. And I come out of it, and you ask me what was my favorite thing. It was the TCG.
Yeah.
That says something because even though I do collect the TCG, I'm not a heavily TCG guy.
yeah.
So to just that's kind of where I was at. Like I'm absolutely going to play the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Like no question, absolutely. But I can't help but sit here at the end of this presentation, like watched it, and I was just like, damn, that
The
sucked.
green cat looks cool.
I guess.
I think if you had $1 for every time something Nintendo related disappointed you, you'd have a PSVR right now.
Damn.
And you do it to yourself. I can't
To
even
be
say
fair,
like,
to be fair,
You're like,
Pokemon operates on its own. It's not
I
Nintendo.
get that, but like you do this with Nintendo, particularly for some reason a lot, where you have a lot. Your expectations are really high, and they always.
Because I know what they're capable of.
Yeah, I get it.
And so I'm going to hold them to that standard.
That's true. That's fair.
I'm going
If
to.
it was any other company, I'd be like, okay, but like it's Nintendo, and they do this.
But like my question is, do you really think that them putting the Game Boy games on the NSO would have been a lot to ask for? Because like that's what I don't think it is at all.
I feel like it's gonna happen.
Maybe,
But
but like,
expecting it to happen at this showcase.
but what I'm saying is like you like at this showcase. This showcase is the yearly Pokemon Presents. Like we're gonna get little news triplets here and there, but like everything coming out for Pokemon this year would be announced here. So like they're probably not coming to the NSO this year, and I think that's insane to me. Like,
Then on
that-
top of it, no announcement for what they're working on. Like, what's next? Is Legends next? Is a
Exactly.
remake next?
That's what I'm
Nothing.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Do like something, a sneak peek at the future. Like give us an idea. It doesn't even need to come out this
Yeah,
year.
but that's what the DLC and stuff is. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but that even so, that's not big. I think what Rome is saying, and oh my God, we're on the same page today, dude.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just not big enough. It's not
It's
enough.
not.
Like it's
You know,
not. It's not as big as they think it is. It's like, okay, these
Weird.
DLCs are like wet farts. They're literally like, the whole presentation was. So it was just kind of like, who cares? Like, I'm like, okay, cool, DLC, good. Glad to know it's coming. I'm
Yeah, it
wait,
just wasn't big
it's like you didn't even try. I'm like, what? You just expect me to get it because you put it out? I didn't get your last DLC. Like, yeah, I feel like they're not. And this was what happened with Scarlet. They're just not
Like,
trying to fix
so-
things.
So look at these last two Pokemon Presents the last 2 years. So last year's Scarlet and Violet was announced. Okay, the year before that, they announced Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, which like whatever. But then they announced Legends Arceus, which I understand Forrest doesn't like Legends Arceus. At the time, regardless of how you feel about it, it was a big announcement when it happened. Forrest, would you agree? Yes. Okay, good. So like that's the last two Pokemon Presents, the last 2 years, and then the year before that was Sword and Shield. So like
I have a feeling.
I'm sorry, but like this is just not a. It's a terrible showing from the Pokemon.
So we know that this is the last year of Switch. I think we all know this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think whatever they're doing next is on the next Switch, and I don't think it's too early to announce it. You can't say it and be like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying,
gonna come to Switch. Just
saying-
whatever's next.
Just saying they needed something else. We've known for years, and like this is actually true. They actually announced this. They're working on a Detective Pikachu 2 for the Switch.
Mhm.
This game has been in development for years.
It's probably gonna be moved to whatever's next.
So I'm saying you can't show something like, hey, here's a sneak peek at like something, just something to like get excited about. There's nothing in this direct or presentation, whatever you want to call it, in terms of video games. Because again, I think TCG Classic was dope as fuck. I'm really looking forward to it. But like, okay, Unite, Cafe Remix, Masters EX, Sleep, DLC for Scarlet and Violet, which is cool, but they didn't show anything about it. Like there
Pokemon
was
Sleep. Sleep.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I thought this was a terrible presentation.
I mean, my expectations were much lower, so this wasn't terrible for me.
Well, that's what it is. Producer Jeff, did you watch the presentation?
I just watched a little bit that I had rolling here. I didn't think it was bad per se because I didn't have any expectations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that if you did have some, you were probably pretty let down. But I didn't even know it was going down. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
was just like, all right, that was fine. Whatever.
I'm with Jeff on this. I actually didn't know it was going down until Rome told me to watch it, and then also, but I'm also with Rome in the sense that I didn't realize this was the yearly. This is the big yearly one. This is
Yeah.
what they got.
Oh.
That's going to be rated even lower.
Yeah, this is their big yearly. They don't do Pokemon
It was
Presents.
nothing. I thought this was like a throwaway fuck around 3 months in one.
No. So this is why I told you
Ugh.
I knew it was coming because so every Pokemon Day, which is every February 27th, they do a Pokemon Presents or Pokemon Direct, whatever you want to call it, and they show their year in Pokemon. And like this is what they have to show this year. And
Okay, then that was really bad then. If this is a once a year thing and this is like their yearly show, like almost like their WrestleMania, like yeah, that was bad.
yeah, this is their yearly show where they celebrate the franchise and they basically like, hey, here are the updates coming to the game this year, like to all our mobile games. Here's like the new TCG thing. That's why they mentioned the Pokemon World Championship in August. Like this is the time for them to show what they have for Pokemon because you don't see Pokemon at Nintendo Directs. Pokemon always does its own thing. And like you might get like a little announcement, and I'm not going to completely count out NSO getting the Pokemon games, but it doesn't seem super likely at this point. And it's just not a good showing for them. And like my expectations, I don't think my expectations were unreasonably high or too high even.
I think even
I went into this expecting exactly this plus one thing.
but even the plus one thing is like you wanted the Game Boy Advance games that they like. I didn't. That to me that seems like a lot. To me that seems like
No,
Yeah,
that was just an example.
or like even like the next. We already know Black and White is being worked on. Like it's not confirmed, but like we all hope /
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like just show
But for me, that's too much as well. Like I just don't think you do that right now. Especially like they had 3 Pokemon games in 1 year. Maybe they're trying to hold off for
I
it.
had two.
They had 3 in a year's time. They had 3 games.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. That's fine. All right.
So it's like it's a Pokemon Presents. It's never anything like. I think Pokemon Violet.
Don't say it's never anything because again, like I just said, the last
was the biggest thing.
3 Pokemon Presents were huge. I mean, it's a factual. Oh, I'm sorry. The last Pokemon Present they showed
That was
off
good.
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, that
The
was
year
good.
before they showed off Brilliant Diamond, Shining
that's-
Pearl, and Legends Arceus. And Legends Arceus.
Like,
And then the year before that, it was Sword and Shield. But you're right, the Pokemon Presents never show anything big.
yeah.
What are you talking about? Ridiculous. This is a bad take by you. At the end of the day, it's their
And
big show.
you wanted them to show the Game Boy Advance games, and you don't think that's unreasonable? You don't think that's like asking for way too much?
No.
I don't get it.
You want some this? It's a lot to expect. Nintendo.
Wait, I have a question. Dev, have you finished Scarlet or Violet yet?
It's 2023. Come on.
Well, it's because they made them all. They're just sitting on them. What
What
do you
did you do in 2023?
Yeah, because it was the 35th anniversary.
But it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. We talk about this.
Pokemon is not Nintendo.
But it is.
It's not. It's
It
game
is.
free. It's game free.
But it's like,
That's why Pokemon doesn't show up to the directs.
but it's Nintendo.
But it's game free.
But it is Nintendo. You know.
However, it is game free.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. You'll never learn.
I wanted something coming out this year. That's what I wanted.
You're gonna get some DLC. I mean, I don't like. You're gonna sleep and you're gonna get some DLC. That's about it.
I'm not going to sleep.
Bro, this whole bro, the reason they made this so lame was so that you would buy the sleep thing because you're going to sleep after watching this press conference.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
My expectations were set at this is what we're getting. This is like it's Pokemon Presents. It's
But Dev, have you finished Violet yet?
No. Yeah.
No.
That's why you're not chopping at the bit for the next thing.
I mean,
It's what it is.
I never am.
Kind of an
Ah.
understatement, you know.
It's it's like. Besides, I like I'm more excited for the remakes than I am for like the new stuff. Like it's just like their new stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the 5 remake so bad.
Yeah.
Getting it. You know it's coming.
So show it.
Yeah, it's for the Switch too. Switch Plus Plus.
Switch plus plus.
Yeah.
All right, what are you giving it? What's your grades?
What's your grade, Dev? Give it a grade.
7.
Jesus, what?
Over. Okay.
Yeah, that's way.
That's
That's what I was gonna give it before I
Pokemon
realized it was the yearly show.
that's egregious. That's egregious. I can't believe you just said 7.
Yeah.
It's a 1. It's a 1.5 for me. I'm
I'm
happy.
looking at the screen and it's a 1.
I'm happy if there's a deal.
Wow, I did not expect that.
I'm not gonna go that low,
No, okay.
but I will say I'm extremely disappointed. I didn't realize this was the yearly one, the big one. I thought this was just a throwaway one. I'm gonna probably give it like at least it has something that I'm gonna play. Which is the DLC maybe. Yeah, let's be real. I'm probably gonna get it. Just because Pokemon. But I would say 4 because I gotta knock it. I gotta knock it for all the other crap that's in there, and then just it was literally just a wet like that is. I can't honestly think of I can't. There's it was mid.
I'm gonna actually, in all seriousness, I am gonna give it like a 3.5. Yes, the Pokemon TCG Classic, I'm extremely excited for. And I'm sure the DLC for Scarlet and Violet's gonna be great. But that's my other point then. Show more of the DLC. If that's your big thing this year, show me more. They didn't show anything. I saw nothing out of that DLC.
That's fair.
So like again, like the point of this is for me to be excited about Pokemon for the coming year, and by showing me like, look, I like Dugong, but by being like, hey, you can catch Dugong in the first DLC pack, I'm like, okay, cool, I guess, but like I don't know, like yeah, it's a 3.5 for me. I'm excited to spend a lot of money on Pokemon cards. And not like this is the first time I've ever come out of like a Pokemon Presents or Direct or whatever, thinking like, man, my favorite thing about the show was the TCG. Like what? Like that's for me, that's not good because I'm not a card guy. I am a game guy. So it's like even though I collect Pokemon cards here and there, like now, like if Jeff said something like that, I'd be like, okay, well Jeff's a card guy. He gets football cards, wrestling cards, baseball cards, you name it. Jeff does it. Magic.
Speaking of which, when you go to buy your cards, let me know. I work at a card store now, and we get everything, so I can get you a little bit of a discount.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be buying all the packs from the classic, so I get what I need.
Hopefully they're like labeled or something, like because I did see like they had 3 black packs, so maybe like you can at least get the starters.
I would buy all 3 packs.
Yeah, hopefully, but I mean, hopefully it's like guaranteed. Like you're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. But if anybody wants a case, let me know. Or like a box, let me know. We're probably gonna order a case. So
I'll talk to you, Jeff.
All
right. All right. So you gave a grade. I gave a grade. Jeff, did you want to give a grade to the?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a 5.5. It just felt very middle of the road, but being the yearly show, that's that was sad. They were kind of just like happy birthday us.
Yeah, it was their victory lap.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that. All right. So I think that's just about gonna do it for us here. I'm playing High on Life right now. Wanted to share that. I'm enjoying it. I think the writing's pretty good. I would
You're
recommend
playing
it.
High on Life?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, quick rant, because we still have some time that we can spare. I am no longer buying Nintendo games from Amazon. I'm done with them.
Why?
So it's kind of a rant. I'm just sick of it. So every time I buy a Nintendo game on Amazon, they delay the game, and it's not just me; it's happening to everybody. They delay their shipments by like sometimes a couple days. So Metroid Prime Remastered, it released on February 22nd for the Switch. I pre-ordered it on Amazon. I was one of the first people to pre-order it, and they, along with like thousands of other people who pre-ordered the game on Amazon, they delayed the shipment until March 30th.
Bruh.
I went to GameStop that day, bought it, and canceled my Amazon pre-order.
No, as you should.
And then I bought Octopath Traveler 2. This game came out on the 24th, last Friday. Amazon was trying to tell me I was going to have to wait, I believe, until I think it was March 2nd. And I was like, or I could go to GameStop
Or
and buy it. So I bought it again and canceled my pre-order. So I'm not, moral of the story is I'm fucking done with Amazon in terms of Nintendo games. And
Moral of the story is Amazon. Right, Rome?
yeah, just about.
Has it only been Nintendo games?
That's what I was gonna say. It's just Nintendo games. Like
That's weird.
it's not a new thing. Like I remember Smash Ultimate. I had to wait an extra 2 days to play that when it came out. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if like Nintendo's like fucking over Amazon and just not giving it to them, or Amazon just doesn't care. I don't know like what it is.
I'm
But
gonna go with Amazon doesn't care because they are notorious for not caring about anything other than money.
That's fair. So yeah, I'm no longer buying Amazon game or Switch games from Amazon. I'm still gonna do Xbox and PlayStation for the time being, just because I still have Prime. But
Until they mess it up.
until they exactly. I actually missed going to GameStop. I went to GameStop and bought Octopath 2. Got into a nice conversation with the guy at the counter. We were talking about Zelda, and I was like, "Yeah, man, Breath of the Wild. It's a great game, not a great Zelda game." And the guy was like, "I've never played Breath of the Wild." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you should play it, before Tears of the Kingdom. But it is what it is. Hopefully, Tears of the Kingdom kind of improves in the places that Breath of the Wild falls short, which I think it will." Which Deborah got upset about.
What's Dev? What are you playing?
I'm not playing anything right now, but I'm really like Hogwarts Legacy, man. I am missing out. The FOMO has hit me full force. Like
Wow, you don't normally get FOMO.
Yeah, I have it with this game. Like every time I see this game, I've been avoiding stuff.
Bro,
as much as I can. It just looks really good.
Bro, just buy a Series X or a PS5 and just fucking get it.
Yeah, I know.
Just do it. Just make the jump.
I know. Just spend $700.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. Come on.
I mean, if you get here's the thing, right? If you get the PlayStation, you're already halfway done for your VR too.
There you go. Look at that.
Say it again.
I said if you get the PlayStation, you're already halfway done for your VR too, and you'll have the best VR headset for all your
good
VR
point.
games that you want
Good
to play.
point.
Series X, and you're 100% done because you already have. You can just get Game Pass.
I'm just gonna put my GoFundMe in the comments below after this. If anybody wants to give me a
Dude, where's your Fansly? Let's go.
So I'm actually playing Warzone 2, the Resurgence mode. That shit is pure chaos, and it is fun as hell.
Nice.
Forrest, what are you working on?
Speaking of pure chaos, I've been playing Hunt Showdown, which is this what was it 2 weeks ago? We were talking about PvP VEs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a scary game. Like it's scary, but also like it goes from like once you play with the homies, it goes from like being like terrifying and creepy to like Shaun of the Dead. It's like it goes from being like the most scariest zombie movie you've ever seen to like a comedy set in a zombie apocalypse. All the guns are old, so it's like World War II-esque time. Those are the type of guns we're using, and then like they have all these crazy modifications, poison bullets, fire bullets. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and especially when you get the homies and you run around like a little gremlin and you don't actually hunt anybody. It's fun.
That's cool.
Nice.
Are you getting Wild Hearts? Because that looks like a you type of game.
No, I don't want anything to do with Wild Hearts.
Okay.
Yes,
I was watching people play it. then I saw the building mechanic, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Fortnite Monster Hunter? What?" So I was just right there. I was out, and then on top of that, I also was just like, I need to see how it feels, and like I'm not gonna know that until I play it. But I'm not even taking the risk of like getting it for 2 hours and Steam being like, you need to keep this game, and I'm like,
There's no
no.
preview you could try.
No.
That you know of?
Yeah, there's no real preview I could try. Plus, it's the hype's already gone on that game. It's only been out a week, and I haven't heard anything about it other than like the person I watched who played it, and that's about it. I don't know, like Monster Hunter World or Rise is doing just as well, just as fine. They're doing stuff weekly, and I was playing that today on the PC, and I was like, that's another game I'm playing. So I'm just if it doesn't have Hunt in the title, I'm not playing it. Monster Hunter Rise, and just tearing it up, and it was a lot of fun, and like I actually it did some different stuff, and I was surprised. I was like, oh wow, this actually worked. Hell yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I have no issues with Atomic Heart, but or not Atomic Heart, Wild Hearts. Atomic Heart's the Russian one,
Yes.
Russian BioShock.
Yes.
Da. And though I will say for Atomic Hearts, the music's actually pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, Mick Gordon's he's a genius. He worked on Doom.
Yeah, no, that music slaps. Like he did this. There's this one song, and I can't find it, and it kills me. It's this classic opera singer singing, and then it cuts into Doom music, and I'm like,
That thing's really cool, actually.
and I can't find the damn song, and no one knows the name of it. I was like looking on Reddit chains and everything, trying to find it. Ugh.
Try and see if you can like look up. I think Mick Gordon sells his
I
soundtrack
was gonna say,
somewhere.
look up the soundtrack.
If you look up like his like maybe he has a store or something, maybe you could find it there.
Maybe
But
I'll check
alright,
it out.
all right, I think that's gonna pretty much wrap us up here. This has been episode 16 of the Game Room Podcast. For everyone in chat hanging out with us, thanks for stopping by. If you could hit the like button and subscribe on your way out, that would be greatly appreciated. While you're at it, go check out our other videos. Jeff put out a video on the channel yesterday of me losing my shit because of WWE. Which, speaking of which, if you like pro wrestling, we do the Broken Tables podcast every Wednesday night and every Friday night. It's actually a big weekend here, Dev, too, because there's a wrestling pay-per-view this weekend, AEW Revolution. So there's a lot of content happening here on the channel this week. Producer Jeff and I are going to be pretty much every other day on the channel live. So looking forward to all of that. You can follow us in our on the social medias in the link below in the description. Do not follow Forrest on Twitch.
Nope, don't you dare. If I see any of you, banned.
Please donate to Deborah's OnlyFund or GoFundMe.
Yeah, his Fansly.
Mansley, yes. Please go.
His Kickstarter for his PlayStation.
Guys,
That's right. I can fill it out and put it over Darth Vader. And,
like till it fills up enough to buy the Xbox.
yeah.
But yeah, I know. Exciting times here at the Broken Tables podcast and the Game Room podcast. We'll catch you guys next week, or I guess Wednesday if you like pro wrestling. See you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.
All right.